I think what most people don't understand about social media and PR is the amount of strategy does go into it. They think of the operational part of it. And yes, that's big, but it's really thinking about how this is going to affect people and how it's going to reach, your target. So there's a lot of thought that goes behind this. I don't think people realize.
Absolutely. It's the thing too, where it's a lot of trial and error, right? Like we try a lot of different things. What if we did an artist spotlight every month and we took an artist from the roster and we did a spotlight on them? And this is just an example, but like there's certain things that just don't get a lot of engagement. If I'm looking at kind of the metrics of like how our social media does, the things that do best are when we announce new signings, or when we have a big press look, or when we post about our artists that were at Coachella. Like those things get a lot of likes and comments and engagement. And there's certain things that you would think would that don't. And so you kind of have to just always be moving things around, thinking about them differently, asking your peers, like your colleagues, what do you think we should be posting? I don't have all the answers. What do you guys think is cool? What do you guys want to see? And really being proactive about putting those things together so that you're not on the back foot. You're constantly turning out new and exciting things for your followers.
The agency I work with wants walk and talks.
Interesting.
So basically, walking down the street with your phone and talking to it, but off at a 45-degree angle, not in front of you. And I was really resistant for a while. And sure enough, it scored bigger than anything I ever thought. And they keep on saying, this is what's hot right now, walk and talks.
And you mean like you're interviewing someone walking and talking?
No, I'm talking about a particular subject.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're short, a minute or, 2 at the most.
I mean, I live in New York City, right?
Yeah.
We are about to elect a new mayor in a month. And the current Democratic candidate, Zohran Mamdani, his social media is so good. So much of what he does is exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It's him walking and talking about platform or a problem or something. And it gets so much engagement. You wonder, like, what is it about that? But you know what I think it is? I think it feels real.
Yeah, it's authentic. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels real. You're not sitting in front of a desk, like talking about a problem or talking about something. You're engaging with the community around you and talking about something that's important to you, which I think people really respond to.
I know someone that I follow lives sort of in a rural area, and he goes out into the forest and just on a hike, he's talking. And it seems like he does the same one every day or every time he does this. And it doesn't matter. It just seems, again, it's real. So
yeah.
Whatever works, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Speaking of which, how does AI impact what you're doing? Or does it?
It hasn't in a real way yet, necessarily. But I do think that there will, I'm speculating, of course, but there might come a time, you see it with tech companies, you see it with different sectors, but that marketing generally is being replaced with AI, that ChatGPT can whip up a marketing plan with, a couple questions and a company can implement that. I don't necessarily think that that is something that the music industry will see. I hope not, knock on wood. I think that the music industry is too personal and too like one-on-one human being talk to do that. I think something that I've heard other people talk about is AI music and artists, being tagged on Spotify on songs that are not on because the AI probably used a song of theirs in their algorithm to create the music that it like tagged as an artist on their song. That to me is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But I think with anything else, it's like, I don't want someone using ChatGPT to bring me a marketing plan. I don't want someone using AI to create a brand campaign video. Again, if we're talking about authenticity and realness as the thing that people are dying for, the more that we can use that and just use human beings and allow authenticity and creativity and human connection to shine, the more successful those things will be. Now, does that mean that my wish will come true? Maybe not. Maybe people will be using ChatGPT to give me a marketing plan. And that's something we're going to have to adapt to. But right now, in this current moment, it's not really something that we are having to deal with yet.
You're not experiencing work slop then, right?
We are not experiencing work slump at the moment. No, luckily, thankfully.
Yeah. It's funny. I got a thing in the email the other day, inbox, to attend a webinar on vibe marketing. So you've heard of vibe coding. Vibe coding is basically using AI to do the coding for you, so you don't have to know anything. And this was the same thing with marketing. It was all about how to do it. If, again, little or nothing about marketing, well, here's how to get smart on it, which, as you say, I would be very hesitant on using something like that. Especially, I have a lot of experience using AI, and I have to say, sometimes the answers that you get are just so off the wall. You go, wait, why would somebody use this? This is like using a calculator that's wrong, every 5%,
Yes. That's the thing. It's not accurate because it's pulling from the internet, which is often wrong. There's a lot of garbage on the internet. I have friends who work at tech and whatever, and that, they're telling me that in job interviews, these companies are asking them, how would you use AI in your work? Like, we want you to, how would you use it? Or like, what can you do that AI can't do? Like, why should we hire you and not just use AI?
That's a good question right there.
That scares me more than anything, because I'm like, I can't imagine myself going to my team and being like, how are you going to use AI to do this, to like talk about this tour that you're going to work on? Or like, I want them to use their brains. I want people to be thinking, because this job does require critical thinking. It requires asking a lot of questions and coming up with alternatives and thinking about things in a very nuanced way, because no artist is the same. No plan is the same. No manager is the same. You have to be really good at thinking about things from somebody else's perspective. And AI is not going to do that for you. It's going to spit out something that it thinks you want. Even if what you want is not the best idea, it's going to validate you and tell you that it is. I just can't imagine a world in which we would be like, hey.
Yeah, again, authenticity seems to work really well. And, when it comes to music, I'm thinking that sooner or later, artists are going to produce music with mistakes left in it, because that will prove they're authentic.
I mean, you look at this AI actress that they just...
Oh, Tilly, right.
Tilly.
Yeah.
And, there might be some people who don't care, right? Like, there might be people who are passive Netflix watchers who are just like, oh, I don't know who this is. I don't care, But when you're talking about art and you're talking about that, an actor having to act with a machine or with something that's not real, it's like, how do you expect to get the most real performance if half of what you're doing is not real? I'm sure that this is a thing that's it's not going away. So, we are going to have to figure it out. But yeah, it freaks me out.
Last question, Katie. What's the best piece of advice maybe somebody imparted to you, or maybe you just learned along the way?
Honestly, the best advice that I've learned along the way is that being nice and being yourself is going to yield the best results. I think a lot of times, this industry can be very volatile, especially as a woman. I think you have to be a certain way in order to be accepted, or in order to move up in the world, or in order to be respected. And I'm a person who wholeheartedly rejects that. I cannot be myself. And so, that can be scary and intimidating at times, because you're like, I don't know if these people are going to like me, and I don't know if what I'm doing is good, or if I should be quieter, or if I should not talk. And I've never done that. I've always kind of spoken my mind, and I've always been very much myself, and that's worked out really well for me. And so I think it's not everybody's cup of tea, I'm sure, but has allowed me to work with the people I want to work with, and with the artists I want to work with, and feel accepted in a group of people who like me for me. And so I think the best advice I've always been given my entire life is just be you, be yourself. You don't have to be anyone else to be successful and do what you want to do.